Out here, there's no one way of doing things. No unwritten rules. And no shortage of adventure. Because out here, the only requirement is having fun. Bank of America invites kids 6 to 18 to golf with us. For a limited time, sign them up for a free 1-year membership, giving them access to discounted tee times at thousands of courses. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/golf with us. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Restrictions apply. See BofA.com/golf with us for complete details. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? That's what Uber is all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way. So you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
This is Optimal Work Daily. 7 Rituals You Should Steal from Extremely Creative People, Part 2, by Marc Chernoff of markandangel.com. 5. Observe your mentors and study the work of other masters. If you study the lives of enough successful creators, it becomes obvious that most world-class performers in all fields, musicians, entrepreneurs, artists, dancers, etc., had incredible mentors, coaches, or role models who made the activity of practice worthwhile and rewarding. If you can speak with a mentor face-to-face, that's incredible. Do so. But keep in mind that just observing a mentor works wonders too. When we observe someone we want to learn from and we have a crystal clear idea of what we want to create for ourselves, it unlocks a tremendous amount of motivation. Human beings are socially inclined, and when we get the idea that we want to join some elite circle up above us, that is what really motivates us to achieve greatness. Look, they did it. I can do it too. It may sound overly simplistic, but spending time studying people who are great can be one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. In his book Mastery, Robert Greene emphasizes the importance of studying the work of others using Mozart as an example. This is an essential building block for mastering your craft and cultivating your creativity at the same time. Quote, "Throughout his career, Mozart never asserted any particular opinions about music. Instead, he absorbed the styles he heard around himself and incorporated them into his own voice. Late in his career, he encountered for the first time the music of Johann Sebastian Bach, a kind of music very different from his own and in some ways more complex. Most artists would grow defensive and dismissive of something that challenged their own principles. Instead, Mozart opened his mind up to new possibilities, studying Bach's use of counterpoint for nearly a year and absorbing it into his own vocabulary. This gave his music a new and surprising creative quality." End quote. The bottom line is that studying mentors and other masters can help you diversify your own creative output. Doing so facilitates the process of cross-pollinating ideas and strategies, as well as introducing you to new approaches and ways of thinking. Not everything others do will be relevant to you, of course, but it will help refine and develop your style and tailor it to your own unique creative goals. 6. Lean heavily on your intuition. Intuition is very real and something that is never wise to ignore because it comes from deep within your subconscious and is derived from a combination of your previous life experiences and core perceptions about the present. If everyone else is telling you yes, but your gut is telling you otherwise, it's usually for a good reason. When faced with difficult decisions, seek out all the information you can find, become as knowledgeable as you possibly can, and then listen to your God-given instincts. Creative people know that trusting your intuition is equivalent to trusting your true self, and the more you trust your true self, the more control you have of making your biggest goals and wildest dreams come true, just the way you envision. 7. Gradually turn life's obstacles around. Many of the most iconic novels, songs, and inventions of all time were inspired by gut-wrenching pain and heartbreak. Therefore, the silver lining of these great challenges is that they were the catalyst to the creation of epic masterpieces. An emerging field of psychology called post-traumatic growth has suggested that most people are able to use their hardships and traumas for substantial creative and intellectual development. Specifically, researchers have found that trauma can help people grow their long-term contentment, emotional strength, and resourcefulness. When our view of the world as a safe place or as a certain type of place has been shattered, We are forced to reboot our perspective on things. We suddenly have the opportunity to look out to the periphery and see things with a new, fresh set of beginner's eyes, which is extremely beneficial to creativity and personal growth. Angel and I discuss this in detail in the adversity chapter of 1,000 Little Things Happy, Successful People Do Differently. Afterthoughts. Walt Disney once said, quote, "Around here, we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." End quote. This is one of my favorite quotes. It inspires me to write and create, and to move on to my next piece of work, even when I catch myself judging my last piece of work as not good enough. For nearly a decade, I have been publishing new articles every week on marcandangel.com. Sometimes the ideas and words come easier than others, and there have been plenty of times when I felt like my work was subpar. I'll think, hey, I thought this was a great article. Why aren't people reading and sharing it? Or I'll feel like I fumbled through an article only to watch it get 25,000 plus shares on Facebook. Regardless of which outcome I'm dealing with, I've realized one thing. As human beings, we are often terrible judges of our own work. We're just too self-critical to see the truth most of the time. And not only that, it's not our job to judge our own work. It's not our job to compare it to everyone else's work or to how we thought others would perceive it. There's no use in doing that. Instead, it's our job to create. Our job is to share what we have right now in this moment. Our job is to come as we are and give it our best shot. There are people in nearly every career field who make each day a work of art simply by the way they have mastered their craft. In other words, almost everyone is an artist in some way, and every artist will have the tendency to judge their own work. The important thing is not to let your self-judgment keep you from doing your thing and sharing your creative gift with the world. Just like Walt said, the key is to keep moving forward. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled 7 Rituals You Should Steal from Extremely Creative People by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com.
Spring savings are in the air, and at Ross, where they have savings on all the brands you love. From the latest fashion to outdoor decor and even pet supplies, savings are in every aisle. Go to Ross and save 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices on your favorite spring finds.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase of 16 weeks, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
And thank you again to both Marc and Angel. And as I mentioned yesterday, they are super popular bloggers with millions of page views. They've also got some books that are worth your time to check out. Getting Back to Happy is a New York Times bestseller that shares their strategies for changing thought patterns and daily habits to bounce back from tough times. That includes daily rituals, mindfulness, self-care, and more, with never-before-published stories and advice. Now, that type of content about personal development and growth is regularly featured over on the podcast Optimal Living Daily. So if you like the style of today's article here, but want to hear the author's take on happiness, self-care, building habits, productivity, and much more, check out that show. Again, that's Optimal Living Daily. And make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you get your podcasts to get all the new episodes for free. So thanks for doing that and for being here with me each and every day. Hope you've had a great weekend, and I'll see you back here tomorrow to start off another week of shows. That's where your optimal life awaits.